alive. Cool. Alright, let's do this. Bum 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 bum. Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on the bird. No, we're not doing that. Why am I doing that? Okay, let me turn the game sound down. It's been a while since I've played this game. I don't think I've played since I moved into my my dorm at college. I've done a couple group Ace Attorney streams, but I've yet to get back to this game since I beat the first case. And I'm very excited because look at this man. Look at this silhouette. 100 years before cream cheese pizza. Oh God. Look at this silhouette. The man. I think we're about to meet him. The man, the myth, the legend. HERLOCK Sholmes himself. And I'm very excited. This is a bit of a late night stream, so probably won't be very long because I don't know. It's late, but I'm excited to meet. Hopefully I will meet the man himself very soon. The adventure of the unbreakable speckled band.
In a corner of that small
Voice
dark
acting,
room,
hello.
Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a
Vent
hiss and a soft
among us.
growl-like sound.
It was the imposter going through the
Sholmes
vents.
sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air.
I don't know. I like this. This narration fits for a like Sherlock Holmes story thing.
When he started whispering to me, the victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
The speckled band.
I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder.
Who's narrating right now? Wilson or Watson? Sholmes?
It was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
That was a cool little intro thing. Very different than what you normally see in Ace Attorney. And that I like that there was English text integrated into that cutscene. So presumably that would just be there no matter what.
So then,
Even
let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Okay, he sounds exactly like I would expect him to.
The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery.
Locked room.
In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor.
11037.
Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then.
A Russian.
And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Whoa. What is that? Am I gonna get to use that? Whatever that just was? Fucking, like, ink gun?
What have we here?
What have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think
Oh
you're doing
God,
here?
that's some anime voice
no
acting.
One must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer
to you.
What?
Don't be absurd. This
Don't
is
be
murder.
absurd.
I need cabin locked from inside.
The
Ah,
Russian
yes, a
accent.
locked room, but that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
The imposter is in fact
Where have you
among
come
us. He came
I'm a
from the
great
vents,
British
and
consignment
then
detective, the
he
only one
hid
the
in
world.
the cupboard. The other
Sherlock
ability,
Holmes.
the other Goose Goose Duck
I
map.
presume
I need to stop doing these
You must
references.
have heard of me.
There was no reason to murder him. Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Oh, I'm in the frickin' cupboard, aren't I? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait. I can't move. Oh yeah. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? Hmm. So, you wake up now. Is that? Oh no, it's just. So, you wake up now. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. Is my accent better or worse than the one that's in the game? I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You. You found me then. Ah! We found you. I know. I know they're Russian. And now you'll pay. Criminal. I can't really do, I can only vaguely do Russian. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, Ugh, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. How's my Russian? It's like 4 out of 10, right? All the only Russian accent I know how to do is the fucking I'm swearing too much. The little bat from Anastasia, who's like, "Well, master, you see, 4 out of 10. Yeah, exactly. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Okay, that's. Oh, it's you. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Sasato? Susato? I'm saying Sasato because it's funny. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Um, where, where is he? Susato, yeah. Or, yeah, Susato, yeah. Figured. Sasato is just funny. Where's Kazuma? I'm gonna guess he's the one who's dead because he was the mentor character. Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. You are the killer, sir. Do not try to make excuses. I'm just gonna do a Bartok the Bat impression because I'm dumb. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Kazuma. Kazuma? Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body. Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead. Kazuma's, yeah. But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think that okay. It would have shocked me, but Kazuma's death would have shocked me had I not had time to digest the last case and go, where is Kazuma as a character going to go except death? Like, I was really thinking about how he could coexist with my character, and the answer is not very well. So I was like, he's probably gonna die. If I had just moved straight into this case after the last one, I would have not have expected it, because the last case didn't give any death flags. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. No. No! Fiora! Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure? Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? Fiora, get out of there! It was really something else when they brought your luggage here earlier. The way that Russian crewmate just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. Me, Ryunosuke. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. So I stowed away. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. And they're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. Huh, I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to something. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. Won't be for long. And in any way, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. But what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? Is that what was on there when Herlock opened the cupboard? That was a giveaway. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We'll leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Why is a Russian ship taking us from Japan to the UK? That's kind of weird. Murderer! There was no reason to murder him! No, I'm not a murderer. You said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. Very well. But there was something I would like to ask of you, too. Ugh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. And now we get the non-courtroom section of the game. This is exciting. I don't know what this is gonna... I don't know what is gonna unfold here. What new mechanics they're gonna throw in. Woohoo. Excited! I apologize. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it. They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window. The bolt on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Holding back like a hiccup. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge even despite the circumstances? Yeah, I glitched. That's all, folks. Please, Susato-san. You have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury yet. Oh wait, I can... Shut up. He did not die from Chungus. I can already see how this is different from the other cases because we're on a ship going from one place to another. There's no courtroom for us to do a trial in. There's no even really like we have to wait to get to the next port to like get an investigate. I feel like this is gonna be like a location hopping case. I don't know. That sounds a little Layton-y, to be honest. Like that one Professor Layton game, Diabolical Box, where they're on the train, and so it's like you give them these different locations. That's true, yes. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. He did not come. I came. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to go find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside... A body has been discovered! There was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. Must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it was the case, but it's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me, too. Trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes? Alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. Oh, new things. Stowaway. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yeah. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But... why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world, in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level... If you were to become a lawyer, then... Then what? Nothing. Forget it. I like this song. Bum ba-na-na-num. Kazuma-sama is... He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yeah, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. 4 viewers? Mine's behind. It says 1. Mine says 1. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. I know what this song sounds like. It sounds like, Sticker Brush Symphony, the Donkey Kong song. But specifically the Smash Brothers Brawl version. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Susato being smarter than me, that makes sense. I mean, Maya's kind of... Well, I don't know if Maya's smarter than Phoenix, but, like... Susato is. And he's... what am I even trying to say? Hi, Kirk. Susato would probably be lawyer person herself if she was, you know, not a woman in the late 1800s. There is a vent in the... I know, somebody vented in, I swear to God. This case is gonna be Among Us. Fell asleep. Well, yes. Like HERLOCK Sholmes was saying something about the ventilation at the beginning. That or it was in the, like, narration at the beginning. Either way, it's like... Some kind of sussy shit's going on here. You were sleeping so deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Yeah. That's true. Phoenix is really smart in Apollo Justice. I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Okay, I think somebody, like, conked him on the head. Really? Is something wrong? Jesus Christ, Jack. I also fucking bragged in that game about Phoenix in Apollo Justice. I mean, I guess. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. He actually is, like, he's at his most attractive, weirdly, in his, like, rugged, like, beanie-wearing Apollo Justice state. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could have possibly done this. Hobo Phoenix is the most attractive version of Phoenix, it's true. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this. I can't take it anymore. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. Now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened. I'm going to work out whoever took Kazuma's life, how and why they did it. So I'm sorry. But you're going to have to excuse me, princess. Hiya! What? Oh, she didn't like that. What the... That was a Susato takedown. Yo! Susato becomes even more based. A Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to? Have you forgotten already? what you achieved just a few weeks ago. You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive... I don't have anything yet! At least let me, like, investigate this room. I'll show her some... Oh, yeah, wait, no, I do have this. But how could I have... If the paper seal was on the door of the wardrobe, how could I have put it there after hiding?
Yes!
Tell me, I was discovered in the wardrobe. Was this piece of paper stuck over the door? Upside down, Susato. Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. Crewmates? Vents? Among Us? Oh god, this case is gonna be horrible. So, for me. So naturally he did the same... What? I don't even know what I just read. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. Am I on the roof? That's... But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yeah, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor. Or I'm standing on the roof. Booyah! I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think you could perhaps help me off the roof? She just goes, sheet, and then he goes, there we go. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here, at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible within this room, I'm guessing. No, that is not... Where's the T? Why the buttons are bad? As thoroughly as possible in here. T is history, E is court record, F is autoplay, and G is options. Okay. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. You're still sus! I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, should make a start on investigating in here. Yo, investigation time! What do you think this is? Looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I don't know if I said that right or not. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? Hold on, wait. Are the people... No, are the people from last case still... No, okay. There's something... Cute little trinket. I'm thinking of that, like, pink puffball thing that the older dude had on him in the last case. Like, her boss or whatever. Her dad. Or, was that her dad? I don't even... And the mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yeah, you're right. It is the color of brick. It is? That's the color of brick? Okay, if you say so. Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in this cabin. Oh dear, that won't do. What's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Yeah, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Oh, it's teaching me how to do this. I literally already did it. Okay. B and M. I can press B and M to tab between those. This is why I just use the mouse for everything, because the keyboard controls are bad. B and M. Controller gang. I've investigated thoroughly. I like having like a cursor. I wish the game had like a built-in cursor though, rather than just the default like mouse, like the default computer mouse. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Does regular Ace Attorney have a cursor? I feel like it did. I don't know. I mean, there's a cursor when I'm like clicking on stuff, but even then, there's the mouse wheel over it. Wait, did I click? What did they say about this? Investigate theory, but what? What about the ink? That's okay. Whatever. I'll click on this then, I guess. Did Kazuma write that before he died? He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the... Okay, why would he leave his message in Russian, though? Like, does he even speak Russian? Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. And it wasn't even written in blood, either, so, like, this could have been written at any time. That's a bit sussy. Sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean? It's Russian, right? Ask the frickin' guy guarding the door to read it. Maybe if I talk to him right now, perhaps I should see what this Russian crewmate makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? My voice got deep. I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Yeah, it looks Russian. And the like the crewmates are Russian. Like this seems to be a Russian ship, so grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. It wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Nyet! Of course not! Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. Susato, why don't you ask him questions? He's not going to respond to me. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Pets. Like perhaps a speckled bird? What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Whoa. Dude, her dynamic with me is definitely very different because like you said earlier, Jack, she is smarter than me. Like I'm almost getting more of a Kyoko Makoto Danganronpa vibe off of these two than a Phoenix and Maya vibe. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. I didn't mean to click that, but ish, that works. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? Statue of some god of the sea. Although he's fallen over as well. Yeah, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once. Or was that her saying that? I don't know, I'm just kind of reading things. I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san? In a fit of rage? I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Is the prosecutor good? You say she and the prosecutor are favorite non-Herlock characters? It's good. I heard the prosecutor was kind of dry, so I don't know. But I mean, if you're saying he's good, maybe it's just those are just opinions I've heard, seen on the internet. Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Okay, why is the sword just on the ground over here? That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yeah, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Bum 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 bum. What is that? That's like a chicken leg. Dum dum dum. Yes, that was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-san didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no! Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. What is this little knife? Okay, how do I fast forward? Oh, right click, that's right. Right click spams through it all. Okay. So I guess that was just the knife for the kitchen table or something, I don't know. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yeah, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No! I mean, maybe. There was clearly a struggle here, though. Like, you got the sword here, the food and knocked on the ground, whatever this is. Okay, whatever I'm trying to click over here. That apparently is not clickable. Okay, whatever. There's another sword here on the ground. I mean, I clicked that already, I think. But... No, not the Russian crewman. Shut up. The Russian crewmate! Okay. Over here. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that... There was no reason to murder him. Oh no, I suppose not. Although it must have been... That might be the title of the VOD, I don't know. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. Trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. Couldn't he have just locked the door? I don't know. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Okay, let's check the sus event already. I think that's some kind of an opening for a vent. Ryunosuke, have you ever played the game Among Us? A hole through which... Isn't that a little odd? A little sus? Well, this vent, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough? Or something like that? I suppose. Maybe that's it. Alright, sus event investigated. Let's see what this thing is. There's a lot of stuff in here, but not a lot of evidence for me to grab. This is... yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? Sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. Oh my god. They're both fascinated by the servant summoning bell. Emergency meeting! I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. I am a monster. This case gives me too much fuel for Among Us jokes. It's a problem. You people should just be lucky. You people should just be happy that I'm behind on the Danganronpa uploads and that the Danganronpa stuff I'm uploading was recorded before Among Us memes. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says, "This way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Susato. When the imposter is Susato. Ding, 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 ding. Wait, have I checked this already? I guess this is within the lettering thing. What else can I check that I have to check on his desk? This is where dear Kazuma-san would have sat whenever he was writing. Dun, dun, dun. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means... what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Why did she bop me on the head again? That's out of the question! What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. Okay. What if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? So am I just gonna be upside down every time she does this to me? Epic gamer moment. She just, like, flips me. Like, the perspective of this makes it look like she's not even knocking me over. She's just, like, grabbing me and, like, flipping me upside down and standing me up on the roof. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like praying into other people's personal matters either, but in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Ah! When the hell did he get in here? As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You've noticed the man too, haven't you? I have no idea who he is or how he got there, but he looks sus and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Wait, he's like freaking upside down on the table. What is he doing? There's something very unusual about it. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk or just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Yeah, this character is a good opportunity, actually, because, fun fact, at school, I'm in an accent, dialects class right now, and we're learning, like, English dialect, so I can practice with this character. Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look uncontrollably excited? Because he's very, very British, and I can practice the accent. It's a bit different though when I got headphones on, so I can't quite hear myself the right way. By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press space on people when they're in the car, okay, or I can just click on them. Oh, please talk to him. Oh boy, Herlock time, Herlock time. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Oh, never mind. Okay. Ah! Greetings! Have I kept you long? What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just those goggles? Oh my god. What? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Looks like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. What is this song? The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Huh? Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. He's trying his best. He really is. Oh, well that's true at least. But how the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, 1. You have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are, a merciless revolutionary. 2. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. What is he talking? 3. When the be-ribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life, too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, aren't you? Are you? Are you? Certainly I am. Ha! Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. This guy. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? Do I look like a Russian assassin to you? I'm like the only person on this boat that isn't Russian. And you're plotting a revolution, too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way I... Hiya! Oh, dang it, I'm upside down again. Why? Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. I am not Russian. Even though I just said it like that. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? The first thing that comes into my head is usually the right one. Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that? Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, and observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. Huh? I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The, the, the inimitable HERLOCK Sholmes. So, it's really you, the actual HERLOCK Sholmes. This song. The very same, the inimitable, actual HERLOCK Sholmes. Do you know this man, Sasudo-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Dub dub dum dum HERLOCK Sholmes dabba dabba dum dum dabba dum dabba dabba dum dum dabba dum da. So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only HERLOCK Sholmes. I see. You're German? Hairlock, was it? No, no, I have no hair. I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh, yes, Rance Magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Yes, here it is. The Adventures of HERLOCK Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am! And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Oh my god, is that the, bit? That's funny. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Ha! Why, this very moment, I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction. And fail. That is what makes me the one and only HERLOCK Sholmes. What were you? What was he? Why is he on the ship? What was he just? Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma. Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Observe for a moment, if you will, the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've already read it? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. She's fangirling too hard to do a Susato takedown. Like, she doesn't care. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand. Namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. But I thought you knew Japanese. I said a smattering, dear boy, a smattering. I don't. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nodo. I trust you're suitably impressed. Okay, he would pronounce my name Ryunosuke. Ha. But Alyssa, why are you playing Omori instead of watching the stream? But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. What happened to not read? Okay, alright. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard the expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the imposter peeking his head out of the vent. And to the lattice, there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record. Nice. Alright, what's the next one? Kazuma's death? Okay, cool. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow, who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. HERLOCK Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes! Luckily for everyone, the great detective HERLOCK Sholmes was on board. and the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Is it facts? I don't know. Oh, really? Two facts, you say? Two fucks, you say? Two fucks. That's how I say it. I don't know if that's how to say it in the accent. I have a list. I have like a list for my class that could probably tell me how to say that word. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed following it. No one involved in this case is Russian, dude. He can't tell Russian people and Japanese people apart. The victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. Hapubazuba! That is the Russian word for wardrobe. I know how to read it, but I do not know how to say it. Do you really think Kazuma-san could have left a dying message in Russian? Russians? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered garderobe. Maybe then. Oh, garderobe. That's what it said. Okay. Initially, I considered garderobe maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, perhaps. Turns out I can pronounce the word but not read it, actually. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look inside the wardrobe there, at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer! Killer. That's actually right. That's actually how you do the accent. Why is it that I'm Russian, too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Your memory does not serve, sir. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people. She will take everything he says at face value. Is that why? I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, and that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. He is her god. God, he is. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yeah, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Ugh. Stuff and Brian's love child. Oh god, he is. Are you alright? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you. Alright, photograph has been added to the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all of that? Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me? Oh, I don't speak Russian. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? Okay. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you now find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. Susato, do you want to tell him that he's not Russian? Okay, whatever. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, one who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No, no, no! How can it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary, after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ugh, please. And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Oh yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back, cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to just glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. Ah, do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. Hutta! The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. I have to do the pee-pee dance in order to keep from getting ill. Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the vent connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So, yes, I intend to investigate. Hence, the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. The answer, yes. That one's in my script for my scene for class. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No, there's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Huh? You must be joking! You just said it only a moment ago! Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said it. You had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So, what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. But anyway, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being rude. Rude Goldberg machine. So is he gonna unhandcuff me or not? Like, okay, alright. Off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Oh, that's a funny one. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting these? What about these? We can... Hiya! After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just gonna roll over and accept your fate? Ugh. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea! The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. What is there still left to investigate in here? This one. Saigi? The Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Big Coleman man. Yeah, 5 viewers, big Coleman man. Big streamer. Epic. Big streamer. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? What? I mean, I'm innocent, so why... Even though you stowed away on this ship. Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Oh, what happened to the lock? When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw bolts across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself, but the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Okay, I didn't process any of that, so hold on a second. Oh, what? There's a new guy in here. Hold on. I didn't process any of that. So, Cobra used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room. But that's not what happened. Oh, because the door was bolted when they... Okay. Alright, got it. What? Daddy Big Dick just landed in LA. What are you saying right now, Kirk? Look over there. The crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he? That's what I thought. Why don't we try talking to him? It's a meme. Okay. Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again, but I suppose I could try. And what spurred the posting of this meme in my chat? Wait a minute. Is that... Yo, it's a TikTok, Batman. Oh my god. Is something wrong, or is that frickin'... Oh my god, is that... Oh, what's his name? What's his name? Excuse me, sir? Oh, that's... The inspector guy, Hosonaga. It's Hosonaga. I recognize that face, but it can it be? Did it say it can be? That was definitely a typo. Ahem, ahem, ahem. Oh, yeah, it can't be. Okay. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir, no, sir. Reporting for duty in case 2 as well. Hello again. What are you doing here? That wasn't exactly... I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. Well, yes, it's an expression. Obviously, it didn't literally stop. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Well, now I'm glad I gave him this voice, because he's a recurring character. Based. You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. We have 2 funny inspectors. Let's go. This game's awesome. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yeah, why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. So this was like a known possibility? Goku? Am I doing that? He ain't beating Goku! Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you guys just quoting TikToks now to get me to, like, read them out loud and be confused? But these are complicated. I wish my TikTok gave me good stuff. You know, I made one, and it just gives me loud FNAF crap. Like, I was about to pull up TikTok and see if the first video it played was so loud that my mic would pick it up, but that's dumb. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should prepare for all eventualities. Teach you how to make a good TikTok for you page. I just have to stop liking videos where, like, the joke is or like I just have to stop liking videos where the joke is like a bass boosted or like whatever. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I have the detective role in Goose Goose Duck, and I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here in the first-class deck. I've failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector, so if there's anything at all that I can do to help now. I'm not going to be horny anymore. Just say the word. I will no more horny, only happy. I was distracted by the maidens on the ship, and now I'm going to pay attention to the case. Are there any hot babes in this case? Like, we're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not. We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible? Possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next-door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to okay, so I need to present something. But what am I presenting? Select the present panel and choose some... Yeah, okay. Speckled band. What is this on the back? This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, don't you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. I teleported back into the room because you clicked on this piece of evidence. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. He popped up from the page. Like, I'm like in the investigation, and he just goes, whoop, and pops out of the page. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing. Wait, that's him. It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. I'm putting weird emphasis on words because I think it's funny. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovik Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports in Great Britain. Well, at all ports with sailings to Great Britain, excuse me. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. Sigma, Susato. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. That's racist. That's racist, Ryunosuke. Okay, the article about the ballerina has been added to the court record. But I don't need the magnifying glass. Okay, well that unfortunately does not give me anything about like why we should investigate the room next door. Maybe this thing? Hold on. Your faint what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Let's just do the vent one. That seems the most likely. You shut. I do not look like the Zodiac Killer. What's that? What's that? What? And then I said that out loud on stream without context. Ugh. Somebody... Kirk? Haha, got him. Got him! Got him. Mr. Anime? Okay, no, I actually do look like Mr. Anime, though. Multiple people have told me I look like Mr. Anime. It's not a pleasant comparison, but I've come to accept it. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Okay, it's much easier to Germa me with a weird chat message when I have 5 viewers and I'm reading every chat message. It's not that impressive. Germa's chat is like Germa's chat is moving at like 100 times the rate of this one. A speckled band. That is strange. Yeah, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The vent, is it? You think it's sus? That vent clearly joins to the next door cabin. My god! It's the Negachin! That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was? Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Say Futaba without the bar. No. Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? Ahem, ahem, ahem. I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. I just skipped text, didn't I? After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. It only took an hour and a half to be able to leave the cabin. So we're going to be like slowly investigating as they let us visit more and more places. Is that what's going on here? 9th January, 7:48 a.m. SS Burya, first class cabin passageway. Phew, finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yeah, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, God. Okay. Had my headphones on there. My ears are itching. Oh, look over there. That's another crewmate keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yeah, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. I'm not reading that. Please, don't give me that pitying look. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, back! Back, you dumb game! Oh, I'm pressing X. Okay, my bad. What do I examine? I guess I'm examining. What? Oh, fuck. That's not what I meant to do. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one that vent connects to. Maybe whoever's in the cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh, God. Oh, Oh, I like that. I'm, like, probably pretty short. I'm assuming my character's pretty short. Because, like, Japanese people are usually shorter. But then this guy's tall even for, like, a white person. So, like, this guy's mega tall. Excuse me, we, need to get inside this cabin here. Bleh. Ooh. Blah, blah. The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. Pretty fly for a white guy. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. It doesn't look like he's gonna let us pass. Then why? Okay. Why were we let out of the room then? Whatever. Outlast moment? Outlast moment. Okay. A trap for catching mice. Yeah, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what's called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Cheese. Wonder what that tastes like. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... Huh. I suppose you're right. He just smashed his fingers in it. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? I already did! And he stands up and his fingers are in the mousetrap. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. I can't tell when she tilts her head like that if she's being condescending or, like... This looks like a plan of the SS Burya. It shows each deck. Look. The Burya is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a large lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago, the islands of Japan. Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They're not floating, though. The islands don't... Okay. Alright. Ship protocols. Yeah, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Ugh. And nothing. No reaction at all. Thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san. Even to a sailor. I feel like I'm getting quieter. Like the game, I'm like not talking over the game's music anymore, so I'm just like... Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Okay, let's talk to the... Let's see if we can get something out of the big beefy man. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You! You little stowaway murderer! Okay, so he does talk. Alrighty. Let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You! You little third-class ladies' maid! Oh. We seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not a sailor. My mother gave me name. I am Senior Cuman Beef Stroganoff. God damn it. That one's stupid. Oh my gosh. Beef Stroganoff. I knew... Okay, when it said Stroganoff right here, I knew his first name was going to be Beef before I even clicked forward on the text. Because of course it was. Are you in watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Da! All time! So criminals like you cannot come in. Or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? There was no reason to murder. It is sad about student boy. There was no reason to murder him. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Hit! Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly, no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises? Or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no! Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Yeah, I saw it too in his animation. He was like looking to the side. First class cabin area. Mr. Stroganoff, about the first class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Burya steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganov is not animal. Thank you. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Da! Did you understand that? Sounded like da, which means yes, I think. Or no, Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin, at least. Yeah, it's tantalizing. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. Grimsby Roylott? Grimsby Roylott. I don't get the pun. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure? Mr. Roylott is an authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? Roylott? Grimsby Roylott. Crimes by... I don't know. That is not your business. Come to think of it. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time. We never once heard anything from the next door cabin. Or even felt like there's anyone there. Do any of you guys get the pun in the name the Grimsby Roylott? I don't get it. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins... Yeah, you should go to sleep. I'm probably gonna go to sleep, too. I'm like... I'm like mumbling through words at this point. I'm kind of just waiting for a good, like, stopping point. He must be rather important. Is that right? Also, this voice gives me this voice hurts throat. That is not your business. This is enough. I cannot say more now. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Bulkhead to second class areas, staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on the top of the mountain. Or, as English say, windy pigs fly. Okay. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly. Okay, so he's gone. Now I can go into the room. Based. I think I'll investigate this room, and then I'm gonna call it call it there for the stream, because it is past 1 a.m. Yes, the vent from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin could help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. Are we gonna be able to get in there? How annoying. God dang it. I wanted to go in the cabin. Never mind. I guess we're not checking the cabin yet. What do you think this is? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Emergency meeting. I already did that joke, but it's a press only in times of it. But it's literally the emergency meeting button. Looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship. Brings the vessel to a complete stop. They should make like an Among Us map that's like on a boat. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? Don't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. This ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make sure it doesn't affect anyone else. Huh? Oh no. I don't know. It's a high-pitched scream that my voice does not have the energy to be doing right now. I'm about to break the door down. Every time he does this pose, you can't see me. Every time he does this pose, I do it in real life because I'm weird. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes, I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking the doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. You could just open it. It doesn't. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? Oh my god, he's ADD. He's going into like stress mode. He's like, I gotta wax him. I gotta wax him. Oh god, okay. This is definitely the guy in the frickin' newspaper. Definitely 100%. That is definitely this man right here. This is this. Without a doubt. He's got a big bushy beard hiding his face, but you can't fool me. Ooh! What are you? How many Russian accents am I gonna have to do? We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. Oh, okay. That or it's a massive red herring, and this is like the dancer girl in a stupid beard. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. I'm gonna do a slightly fake voice. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out! All of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylott, I believe. Grimesboy Roy B. Yes, that's me, and you are? I am the one and only, the actual HERLOCK Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt? No. I am a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. He gives me the side eye when he's saying that for sure. Yeah, don't look at me. Oh, there is someone in the trunk. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave! Now! Otherwise I'll call the steward and cut you with this comically large pair of scissors! So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimesby Roylott. Grimsby or Grimesby? I don't know which way to say it. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that sailor returns. Okay, so I'm checking the briefcase before anything else. What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin. Get out. Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be... What? Maybe someone else can help. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. Maybe someone else can help. Perhaps that great detective could get some more with Mr. Roylott. What? Why is he in the wardrobe? Oh my god, this guy is awesome. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? The Mr. part is not necessary. Just Sholmes, no Mr. Jesus. Mr. was my father's name. Why, I was resting. He was napping in there. I was gonna like make a joke of him being like, whoa, whoa, what's going on? I was taking a nap. Resting? Dude, oh my god, Herlock Sholmes is so neurodivergent. Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of deduction into service. Oh, and it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come, and so have I! Am I mistaken? Observe closely. Our Russian host in this captain, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret is? What it is? I butchered that line. Why, the truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react to this when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Ooh, it's going to be juicy! Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Well then, what you are about to see may shock and amaze you, for I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. I'm the reason they call the game the Great Ace Attorney, after all. Oh, this is a new mechanic, isn't it? Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian? I ask you. What? What? Oh, from time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? A perplexing conundrum. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I've quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Uh-huh. I was not holding comically large pair of scissors, you were. And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are an imposter, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. See, I keep thinking they're gonna give us like a new mechanic where I'm investigating as him, but I think he's just gonna keep standing here and monologuing. Some of the camera angles suggested I was gonna be like investigating him with some, but I think it's just. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle. That's a very British one. What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Looks like somehow. both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well, then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Old Man's Identity. Conclusion. Okay, oh my god. So this isn't a gameplay section, this is just like a goofy-ass cutscene. Oh my god, I love this. So the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott. Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using those shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. That's not right, is it? Now, moving on. Oh my god, the snaps. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sad Jack went to bed. This deduction scene is awesome. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. I'm just gonna keep guessing people are the Russian revolutionary until I get it right. I wasn't right last time, but I am right this time. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Therefore, having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Topic 1, old man's identity, conclusion, a revolutionary on the run. Topic 2, wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion, I'm pointing at the audience. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Dun, 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 dun. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. Too bad, sucker. By my estimation, a young lady is inside that briefcase, one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd! Get the spotlight off of me! And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me! We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of the Novivik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Topic 2. Wrongdoing. Conclusion. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. I feel like half of this is going to be right, but like just enough that it would unnerve this guy. Thus concludes HERLOCK SHOLMES' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky! Oh my. Get it? It's like elementary, but Russian. Elemensky! Haha! Please laugh, please. Please laugh. I'm very funny. I'm actually working on a stand-up comedy routine where I deduce everything about the audience members by looking at them. It's going to be very funny, I assure you. Revolutionary, even. Susato-san. That wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. It's telling. Nobody has messaged in chat in a while, but like I don't need chat to interact with when I'm playing a character like HERLOCK Sholmes. I can just get into the bit all on my own. But that did seem a little different somehow. I just hear someone outside go, "Whoa!" Oh, it's just people talking. Yeah, it's just thin walls. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. I mean, they kind of do. I mean, if he just grew out his beard way more, like up to here, like up to the mustache line. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary. Okay, yeah, he can revolutionize his own appearance. I get it. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing. And another thing. The part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed. A truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small. Clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionist in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. Ugh, this whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter most instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. He's just ADD Sherlock Holmes. Like, he has incredible observational powers. His brain is just too scattershot to put them together. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato. He's just neurodivergent ADD Sherlock Holmes. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives? What do you think? Oh, do I get to, like, play with the deductions and, like, move them around? Oh, that sounds fun. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. But seriously, how the fuck? It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist. Oh! No more handcuffs! Freedom, Pog! Freedom, Pog! I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. Oh, you know what? I like the bit of him saying it to himself. That's funnier than her saying it. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. HERLOCK Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Oh, teamwork. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Can I, like... I kind of want to do this in the next episode, though. Set this up. In the next episode, we'll help HERLOCK Sholmes correct episode. On the next stream, I'm getting in Let's Play mode. On the next stream, we'll help HERLOCK Sholmes correct his deduction, because it's late, and I want to have full energy to be doing this, like, goofy crap. I love it. These deduction segments are fun. He just says a bunch of crap, and then we come in and, like, tweak it a little bit. Fix it. I like it. I like it a lot. This is very fun. I'm going to be cutting stream now. Arrivederci!